Hello, in this video I'm going to go through part E on question 1 of Math 2014, and this question wants to know what's the largest value that this expression can take for sine squared x plus 4 cos x plus 1. Well, it's a bit annoying that we've got sines and causes, because that makes it a lot more difficult to try and figure out where the maximum is going to be. So is there some way that we can either get rid of the sines or get rid of the causes? Well, if you remember, sine squared x plus cos squared x is 1 for all x, and so this means that we could replace the sine squared x by 1 minus cos squared x. So if I just called this here star, then we get this, and so here I've just substituted sine squared x in, and then I've simplified it in this line. Okay, so now we've got to figure out when this is at its largest. Well, this is going to be largest if either the inside, this quadratic in cos, is at its largest, or when this quadratic is at its very smallest. Because say if it was at its very smallest, then when we square it, that's going to give us a positive number, and its magnitude will be bigger than the other values. So if we work out what the largest and smallest values that the inside of these brackets can take, so here I've just completed the square on this quadratic is the same as this here in the brackets. So we see that we end up with something like this. And now remember that cos x can only take values between 1 and minus 1. So now we know that this square term is going to be bigger than or equal to 0. So this whole thing, 6 minus 4 times the squared term, is going to be at its largest when we're not taking anything off, because taking off something positive will always make it smaller. So it's going to be biggest when this is 0, and that's going to be 0 when cos x is equal to a half. So we're going to have that dagger is going to be biggest when cos x is a half, and it's going to be smallest when this bracket is as big as possible, because then we're taking the most off. So this square term is going to be at its very biggest when cos x is at its smallest, because then this is the smallest negative number this can be. Because remember, cos x is between minus 1 and 1, so at its smallest this inside is going to be minus 3 over 2, but at its biggest it's only going to be a half, so it will be bigger when we square it when it's at its most negative. So because we're wanting cos x to be at its smallest, we want cos x to be minus 1. And in these cases we have dagger taking these two values, so it's either at 6 or at minus 3. So this here inside the brackets can either be at its biggest at 6 and is at its smallest when it's minus 3. Now we can see the 6 squared is going to be bigger than minus 3 squared. So overall, this whole squared term is going to be at its very biggest when the inside is 6 and that squared is 36. So our answer is B.